Just a Few More Minutes podcast.
Whoa, you changed it up, huh?
We have Pete Paquette, and Michael Berardini, and Jeff Gabor.
Is this because I was literally just making fun of your intro?
Yeah.
But it's perfect. I'll do it. Welcome to Just a Few More Minutes podcast, where three veterans of the animation and video game industry talk about exactly that, animation and video games. I'm Jeff Gabor, alongside me is Michael Berardini, and way across bumfuck Egypt is...
Pete Paquette.
You see, he always makes you say your name.
All
That's
that
awesome.
is true. And we start every episode with our animation tip.
I forgot.
Yep.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Our last episode
has
was
been a
our
while.
Extra Life Marathon episode, where we did a clusterfuck of an episode in the middle of the marathon, where we also streamed it live, which was an interesting experiment.
Yeah, but nobody showed up for it live.
No.
That's
Which is why
okay.
we're not doing it now.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I'm afraid just basically nobody will show up. We do have a decent amount of listeners, I feel like, but that did not work.
Hold up, let me just interject really quick.
Yeah.
I started playing Stardew Valley. Fucking love it. I just
Thank you.
leveled up, and I have a new crafting recipe for a mayonnaise machine.
Nice.
I don't know what the fuck that's for, but here we go.
You playing on a Switch?
I am.
Nice.
It's fucking great, man. I really like this game.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Like, I've never played, what are they called? Harvest Moon?
Right.
Harvest Moon. Yeah,
So
that's
this-
what it was. That's what it was based off of. Harvest Moon 64, I think.
Yeah, when I started this game, I had no idea what I was doing. Very confused. Animation tip. Go for it.
All right, animation tip.
Sorry. I
right,
forgot
this is-
the order.
This is a little tip to help push poses or to help try to like get poses to be a little bit better. So I think a lot of animators actually tend to fall into this technique, but in case you don't already do it, one thing I see other animators do, and I definitely like to do, is so you block out your scene, you feel good about generally how you're going, but you want to like push a couple poses. So on the pose that you particularly want to improve upon, just key the whole rig, and then on the next frame, just do subtle adjustments, and then you can toggle back and forth and see, did I improve it? Did I not? Did I improve it? Did I not? And then you can do like 4 or 5 different iterations of that, and slowly try to see if you can just basically one-up the pose that you did just before. That's, slightly tweaking it, slightly pushing it, so you can like push the hips a little bit more, or rotate the chest a little bit different, or the head tilt, or change the expression subtly. It's like an easy way to just try a different idea and push it, but the key is to compare it to your old pose to see if you actually are improving it. The other thing on top of that is, we've mentioned it before, but you can then export out your blocking and put it into a 2D animated program, and you can draw over the top of it. And that way you can clean up lines of action, or you generally feel freed up to push it to any degree you want. And that tends to free up your level of appeal and pushing it, and you tend to see things in a different way. So both techniques, really good ways to just take an individual pose and to find extra appeal.
I agree.
Very cool.
You could also, what I do, because I feel like taking your 3D stuff and then going back to 2D, for me, is wasting time. So that's why I do my sketch passes first, and I draw the pose how exactly I want it. And then once I get into Maya, it's like that's my goal, and I have to hit it regardless of if the rig can actually do that or not. Because like sometimes if you're going straight to blocking without having your pose thought out so much, you just tend to do whatever the rig can give you instead of like forcing it to give you something appealing.
That's true. I'm always scared to do that, one, because I'm not as confident in my drawing skills, or 2, I'm afraid I will push it to a place that the rig absolutely can't do, and I'm selling something that I can't actually achieve.
Well, then you have to find the nice balance.
Yeah.
I did one shot on the last Ice Age. It's fine if you didn't see it, but go watch it now. Where Crash and Eddie are like electrocuting each other, and my sketch pass for that, I basically just drew them like Ren and Stimpy. I think that was like the first Crash and Eddie shot I ever got, and I never drawn them before, and I didn't really try to nail down a shorthand for them, so I was just drawing what I thought they looked like. But then I had to figure out how to transfer the essence of those poses into the actual characters, which was actually sort of tricky.
That's funny. I did one of the shots that I've done the most sketch passing on was the last shot I ever did in production, which was Ice Age 5 shot with Crash and Eddie. It was at the end of the movie where Crash and Eddie and whoever the stupid bird is, bird dinosaur, Roger. They're doing the Running Man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I did a whole sketch pass. I thought I was like, wow, I did it.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot.
Sketch passes are fucking great.
Yeah.
I still do it. That was my workflow, was always using Sketch first, and then for those of you who don't know, Sketch is like a 2D program that's in-house to Blue Sky.
Yep.
Yet, since I'm not affiliated, I think they are fucking stupid for not making that available to the public for a fee, because that software is fucking awesome. So, honestly,
Yeah.
So now I use Flipbook, which pales in comparison, and I don't know. I can't afford Toon Boom.
No,
But,
that is a problem because we have TV Paint now at the studio, which we got during Peanuts to do all that hand-drawn stuff on top. And I fucking love TV Paint more than like any animation program I've ever used, but it's also incredibly expensive.
All right, alternative.
Okay?
The purpose of this software is for doing, what is it? Basically notes. But do you remember Eric Fidelis?
No, I have no idea.
I'll try to pretend that I know exactly how to pronounce his last name. I should know it, but I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. But he is developing his own software to basically do notes, and it's like a really like efficient version of TV Paint. I don't know what he's charging for it, but man, is it really cool.
Oh, is it like
RGB something? RGB notes? RGB...
Is it based off of like a medical thing? Because somebody was just telling me about a software that they use for like medical notes that is also would work perfectly for animation
no, this is
purposes.
Definitely
specific
animation centric,
animation.
and it's through right now it's like it runs through a browser base, so you upload your images and then you can draw over it and you can like keyframes and onion skins and
Oh,
everything.
you're thinking about Sync Sketch?
Nah, let me do a quick search. So I
don't trust anything that's over a browser. Number one, the internet will steal all my really good drawings. Number two, the internet will go away. RGB Baltic?
no, that's definitely not it.
Oh, well, we just plugged that.
That would be a fucking stupid name for an animation program.
Oh, Vitolins.
Vitolins? Is it Ivinsky? Oh, Eric's?
Yeah. I kept saying Eric.
Yeah, I saw Eric's at CTN.
Yeah, he was showing this off. That's what I'm trying to remember the name. RGB something.
That's got to be him. RGB Notes.
RGB Notes. So I was right. RGB Notes. Yeah, founder and head developer of RGB Notes. Check it out.
We're plugging you, Eric's.
Yeah, collaborate, visualize, professional media review system.
I ran into Eric's at CTN when we were throwing 10-foot poster tubes as far as we could in the parking lot.
Plans and pricing.
That was fun.
Look at that. You can
Free.
get the basic for free.
Three file uploads per month.
You should try it, Pete.
Yeah.
You've been
sounds
missing
pretty
Sketch.
cool.
You should try it. RGB Notes.
All right, I
Yeah,
will.
for a freelancer, it's $8 a month. For a studio, yeah, we're gonna
Contact
charge your
us.
ass.
Just for a point of reference, how much is TV Paint?
for one license,
Yeah,
it's very expensive.
I know. Just fill time, because I've been looking at buying it.
Yeah,
There's definitely that cracked version out there that...
I haven't seen a cracked version of 11 though, and I like 11.
Yeah, 11 is awesome.
Store.
Store.
There you go.
Quotation... Sorry, Pete, I gotta move
Buy
your
it now.
face.
Studios and artists. There you go.
There, that's me. I'm an artist. Select a country.
The United of Estastio.
Come on. Where do they put the United States? America. There we go.
Yeah.
They're
U.S.
Virgin Islands.
No, that's
Nope.
not it.
That was harder than it should be. Oh, come on. In euros? Okay, professional edition, $1,500.
Standard edition.
$600.
Man. And you need the professional edition because I don't know.
What's the difference?
It's basically additional plugins. And one of the coolest
Like
things
what?
I really like, maybe you don't use it, is the warp tool to use.
Dude, the warp tool's cool. It's really slow, though.
It is slow, but it's only in the professional edition.
Well, here's my question that you probably can't tell me. The greatest addition to TV Paint 11 over 10 is the new ability of how they color. Like, if you have your line work, you used to have to just make a layer underneath and use the paint bucket to fill, and then you had to use that stuff.
Right.
Now they have what's called a color and texture layer that basically looks at your line work, and you just like draw a line in the area you want filled, and it fills it straight to the gap, and it's like really smart and intelligent. So like you can just draw a line here, then draw a line there, and it knows where to end the colors. I used it to color all of
I'm pretty sure that's in
Tabdo.
both versions, yeah.
In standard.
Yeah. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Because 600, I could swing.
I mean, I had to use that kind of thing a lot on Peanuts. Because, like, obviously Sparky doesn't close his lines very often.
Right.
So you needed it to intuitively know where to kind of like a tolerance level of saying, well, I'll pretend the line continued even though there's a gap.
Well, you're talking about a different thing.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Because we had 10 on Peanuts.
I thought no, okay, maybe, sorry. I thought we switched. Maybe we switched for Ice Age 5.
I'll show you one day. It blew my mind. It's a very cool way of coloring. Anyway.
So while we're speaking of animation, why don't you guys discuss what happened at CTN and stuff?
Right, so.
Since you were there.
Good segue.
Nice, Pete.
And into that, you didn't get to show Tabdo at CTN, but that guy made a presence at CTN, didn't he?
Tabdo was seen throughout the conference with really shittily drawn post-it notes that I just fucking stuck everywhere. I put probably about 30, 40 post-it notes on pretty much every doorway in that whole conference, and it got me about 8 more views.
It was funny though, but like what was the one you put in the men's bathroom?
Oh yeah, it's just Tab like looking down on you and says, "Hey, I hope you have a nice poop." Hashtag Tabdo. And then there was a nice one that someone put in the girls' bathroom for me that said, "Doesn't it just feel nice to sit? Have a good day."
Those were good.
That made me laugh.
But yeah, both Michael and I went to CTN not to work or really for pleasure.
No, we were husband bitches that weekend. I had lots of fun. I had pleasure.
You had more. Like,
I had lots of pleasure.
Or less. Yeah, isn't that what that one guy told you?
What?
There was that guy in the bar, right? There's a lot of young. Whatever.
Oh no, he was in the elevator.
Oh, the elevator.
That was weird. This guy was like, "Hey, what's all these people? What all you young people? What is this? Some sort of conference?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like an animation conference." He's like, "Whoa, you better have some fun. There's a lot of cute girls out there, huh?" And I'm like, "Dude, they're like students." And he's like, "As long as they're not over 18."
Yeah, that's not creepy or anything.
No, it was weird. He had like a big old bag of bagels going up into his bedroom. I don't know what he was up to.
Oh.
Maybe he just gets creative or something. I don't know.
Yep. Pop those in the microwave for 10 seconds. Enjoy.
11 seconds.
Yep.
That's the key. So, CTN.
Sesame seeds add a bit of grit.
I like the salty bagel. Just to
That does not make for good eating.
sting the urethra. You know what I'm saying?
What?
So, I was there because it was Mindy's 30th birthday and she had to be there to work. So I went and supported her, but also got to wander the conference, go to a bunch of talks and stuff, hang out with literally everybody.
And I was there because it was my daughter Mackenzie's first birthday, and I mean, my wife wanted to make sure that. My wife worked the conference. Like it's her job to basically help chaperone the entire Blue Sky team that's there.
So did you bring the baby with you?
We did. So I brought Mackenzie all the way to California and basically, walked the conference and then also babysat.
He mostly babysat.
Yeah.
Like 9 out of 10 hours was him in the room babysitting.
Yeah. So I really got to spend a lot of time with Mackenzie, which is really good for most of it, and then it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Now was that before or after you broke your foot?
Yeah, that's the other news. Yeah, I broke my foot this weekend trying to hang up Christmas lights.
Tell the whole story. Tell how excited you were to put all those decorations up on this.
So long, one of the first things I said to the realtor when we bought the house was, "Wow, that looks like a good house to put Christmas lights on." I was very excited. Told everybody at CTN about hey, next weekend I'm going to do Christmas lights. So everybody knew I was very excited. Yeah. So I did the side of the garage, and then I had my ladder that I was putting up to get up higher, and I found out the ladder was too long, so I was on the ground in front of the garage, and I was like, I'm going to just shorten the ladder. And instead of laying it down and, making it shorter, it's not one of those aluminum ladders that are nice and light. It's one of those little giants that are super freaking heavy. And so I undid the latches, and then all of the rungs came down right onto my foot. So, yeah, that's basically what it sounded like. So it had the nice comical sound effect of undo the clasp. So it's like kink, and then... and
Deborah, on my footsie.
Yeah. And I had just been told by multiple people to be careful. And 30 seconds later...
So
this wasn't even mid-working. This was when you get started. If you could
put a percentage on how much you got done, where were you at?
2. So it's a little enough that now I don't have lights on the house.
When we pulled up, we just saw one sad strand hanging down from the garage on the side.
Yeah, and that's where it happened. So now I broke the bone just behind the big toe, the metatarsal. And now I'm wearing a boot that I have to keep on through Christmas.
That sucks.
Yeah, but CTN.
Well, there is services that'll put lights up for you.
I know that feels un-Christmas.
Hey, well, in the spirit of Christmas, I told Jeff for his Christmas gift, which I don't often get him gifts anyway, but I said I would put up lights for him or help him.
I bought a stick.
A stick?
A stick.
What, to just poke me and be like, do it better?
Stick should help. Stick should help get those lights a little higher without needing to use the ladder so much. CTN was good, though. Well, Blue Sky was there representing Ferdinand.
True that.
Matt Doble and Lisa Allen did a fantastic talk on...
creating dynamic character relationships.
Wow, you remember the exact name.
I've listened to it twice now.
That was a very good talk. Super packed house. My goodness.
Lots of those young students writing furious notes on everything they said.
And it's impressive because that was one of the last talks on Sunday, which is the last day of the conference, where usually people are kind of bugging out by that time. So to draw that kind of crowd on a Sunday afternoon is really impressive. So I'm glad people stuck around for that because it was a good talk. What do you think about the art around the conference, Michael?
Do you want my happy-go-lucky outlook or my real outlook?
I'll feed you by giving you my opinion first.
Okay.
A lot of it, really, really good, all the exact same.
Yeah.
So it made me go, wow, this is amazing. I don't want any of it.
Yeah, we still bought a lot. And, I met a lot of really cool artists and people that I really liked. But, there's just a style, a trend going through...
Right.
Animation right now.
Everybody is doing the exact same. This slightly gritty, pastel, kid-friendly, for the lack of a better term, the Bobby Pontius style.
Yeah. I feel like there's one specific Photoshop brush everyone's passing around that I don't have.
All right. Yeah. It's all very beautiful. There's no doubt about that. But it's all... Everybody's kind of hitting the same note right now. So, like, not to give you extra props, but, like, that's why Tab Do is, like, so refreshing. Because it's not that.
Yeah, well... I think you and I are the only people that think this. Because Tab Do's sitting at 300 views. Which is fine. But, you know... If you're not ashamed of it, audio listener, please share it. Just please share it. You know? Just please share it.
It is funny. I like it.
Well, I'm my video's sitting at 129 views, so don't feel bad.
That is crazy.
I'm gonna share it again.
I don't even understand.
Because that was a hot commodity that more people should watch.
Anyways, everything's a slow burn. Let's go with that. It's a slow burn. You know what we need to get?
You know what's burning slowly right now?
What?
My asshole.
We need to get someone like Shady J or something.
You're not gonna let me tell my story about my butthole?
I thought that was the end of the story.
No, I got more, but say what you're saying.
So you're talking about your Pete's Plays, and you did a great kind of documentary of Adventure Island and Wonder Boy. So that was really great, really in depth. It was really good. So I would. How do people like look for it? Would it just be? It's on our channel, right?
Yeah, it's on our channel.
So just feel more immune.
If you search like Wonder Boy and Adventure Island, or Wonder Boy versus Adventure Island, it'll be on the search. I think.
That's cool.
So,
but yeah. So otherwise, just check out our channel as well
and subscribe. Please subscribe.
Yeah. All right, who wants to get to other stuff?
My phone just died.
I was going to say I'm working on another one.
Oh, are you?
For what? Tell me more.
Well, it started as a look at Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, and the difference between 1 and 2. Then it evolved into like what the original game did with, versus the show, like how faithful did it follow the game. And now I'm thinking about actually changing it to be like more of a personal story of like why I consider the holidays of 1990 to be like the pinnacle of co-op Christmas for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think that's a good route. Everybody loves Pete. Let's get some history of the old Petrie.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one thing that game has more than anything else is the ability to have couch co-op on one of the original Nintendo system games. Like that made that game special.
Yeah, totally.
It's fun. You should play sometime, Michael. You might like it. Probably won't, but you might.
I probably won't, and we'll just leave it at that.
Well, you know, they did release the Disney Afternoon collection on the PS4.
Oh yeah.
And that has every Capcom Nintendo game.
Let's do that, Michael.
Okay. Get it up. Let's play it. Right now.
Other thing.
Yeah.
Stay in the animation realm.
We'll get to my butthole soon.
So Coco.
Oh yeah, Coco.
Came out.
It did.
Did you guys see it yet?
I saw it.
I unfortunately did not see it yet. I'm actually hoping that Pixar will make my life easier by setting a screener.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking my kids over Christmas break.
Oh, great. So. Maybe we should save the review. But how about a sneak preview, Michael?
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but I am in the minority on this. I think it's a very well-made movie, animated beautifully, looks very great. But as a movie about Mexican culture and death, in the same year that I lost my Mexican grandma, it felt very tone-deaf and not real to me. So there, got real. You didn't expect me to do that, did you?
No.
Well, that's that's good, because then that brings down the expectations a notch or so.
Well, yeah, because I went in and like everybody on Facebook was like, the last 40 minutes had me bawling the entire time, and I was like going in real fucking nervous that it was gonna destroy me mentally and emotionally. But then like the movie seemed like it was wrapping up, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. This is the crazy stuff. I'm gonna cry. And then the movie ended, and it was like, oh, all right, cool. Can we watch that Frozen short again? JK, but great job, guys.
That's cool.
Did you like the Frozen short?
You know what? Man, I'm just like on the opposite of everyone. I didn't think it was bad if you know what it was. It's a TV Christmas special that, you know, if it was on ABC on a fucking Friday night, it'd be like, yeah, this is a fine holiday special. But then when you jam it in front of a movie and it's 22 minutes long, it's like, what the fuck were you thinking? This is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give props to DreamWorks. I saw the Trolls.
Oh yeah, somebody was
Holiday
telling me
special?
about that.
It was
Yeah, I
good.
saw that too.
Did you like it?
Great.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I hear there's a hallucination sequence.
I was just gonna say, Pete, that hallucination sequence was great.
Yeah, it was
It genuinely made myself and Deb like really like laugh out loud.
Really?
It's brief, but it's good.
Where did it air? And can I catch it?
It was like
somewhere?
ABC, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say it was the weekend of Thanksgiving. The weekend after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try to find it.
It followed The Grinch. It was a pretty good follow up. So that's why I put the TV on. I was like, oh, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'll
Oh,
put
you
that
mean
on.
it just was after the Grinch?
Yeah.
I was like, they're just copying the Grinch, but with trolls.
Oh, right.
Well, that's another thing that I didn't know until the Macy's Day Parade was that they're Illumination's redoing the Grinch. Apparently,
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. They've been working on
Yeah.
that for quite a few years.
I didn't fucking know that.
Dude,
yeah,
I have
I'm
a
little
really
worried.
good transition, but it's the wrong time.
Ah, it's
I
fine.
know what
Fine,
you're
Tom.
talking about.
Well, Illumination is apparently working on a Super Mario movie too,
Right.
which is pretty crazy.
Produced by Shigeru Miyamoto,
Man,
which is the first time he's ever been involved in
It isn't
like a Nintendo
yeah.
film.
I hope they don't hold the property too serious.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I mean, did you play Odyssey? You fucking flying into the souls of frogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I just hope they can poke fun at themselves. I guess that's what I'm more looking forward to.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that this could be what I wanted Wreck-It Ralph to be. Where it's like, it'll just be fun to see all these characters and meet up with stuff. And I'm hoping that, you know, Link will show up in the background or something. I'll be like, oh, fuck.
I hope it's not like Captain N. You remember that fucking...
You hope it's not.
Abomination.
Oh, you're an ass. You know I love that show.
It was so bad. I used to watch it as a kid, but it doesn't hold up at all.
I
man.
legitimately still have my Captain N costume up in the attic right now.
Have you watched it recently? Like since you were a kid?
I know it doesn't hold up, but
It was nothing but a huge commercial. That was the entire series was just a giant commercial. It was not. It just in hindsight, it just wasn't good.
how about the Mother Brain was voiced by the same person that did like Little Shop of Horrors plant thing?
Yeah,
Audrey 2, right? Yeah.
and Mega Man.
Oh.
Mega Man had this weird voice, like Mega High. Or something like that.
yeah. And the Castlevania guy was like this like pathetic loser.
Wait, okay, so what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, so there's a show called Captain N and then the Game Master.
You're right.
Captain N the Game Master?
Yeah, or
It came
Captain
out-
Nintendo, the Game Master.
It came out in the late '80s, I want to say.
And so
It was a
basically this
movie or
kid
series?
It was a cartoon series.
Okay.
And it basically this kid gets sucked into his TV as he's playing video games and becomes like supposed to be the savior of the video game world because Mother Brain from Metroid is trying to take over. So all
sounds
these
pretty dope.
all these like video game characters from all the different like good Nintendo games all form this band. So you have like Captain N, then you have this princess from no particular game, but Mega Man, and then I'm blanking his name.
Kid Icarus.
Oh yeah, Kid Icarus, and then the guy from Castlevania.
Simon Belmont.
Yeah, Simon Belmont, and then eventually the Game Boy became its own character. And was in there.
And the enemies were pretty much kind of a mixed bag. It was Mother Brain, and her henchmen were
Yeah, it was like Bluto
King
or what?
Hip.
Yeah,
King
Hippo from Mike Tyson's
Punch Out. and then the eggplant wizard from Kid Icarus.
Yeah.
Well, I won't
Dude,
lie. That
just
sounds like a
watch an
powerhouse
episode.
of creativity.
Yeah, it's got some good creativity and mixing all that, and then bastardizing each one of the characters.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think they probably got a synopsis of the game, and that was it. I don't think anybody who worked on that show actually played video games.
No, but it was exciting because, they would visit other games on particular episodes. There were episodes where it's like, holy shit, they're going to see Link. And you would actually get to see Link and
See, that's
Zelda.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's what this new one could be. You know what I'm saying?
I was actually thinking, I wonder how, I guess it probably won't affect it at all, but Wreck-It Ralph 2. Like, are they going to lose any of the character licenses because now they're basically selling it to Illumination?
It's true.
Well, were there any Nintendo licensed characters in Wreck-It Ralph 2? Or Wreck-It Ralph? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Mario was in it?
Who.
Mario was definitely not in it.
No.
No, Mario wasn't in it. Link wasn't in it. I don't remember... I remember Zangief, but that's Capcom. And then...
Yeah, I feel like no Nintendo characters.
Kubert.
It was like third
Kubert
party
was
stuff.
Parker Brothers.
Wasn't like Bowser or something like that in there?
Oh shit!
I don't
was
think
it?
so.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
I thought there was at least one Nintendo character. I swore there was, but I could be wrong.
My phone's dead. I can't help you. Oh well.
I can find out for you.
Maybe this is a good time to segue. Are we done with animation then?
Well, let me tell you about my butthole.
We're at 32 minutes. It's 9:45. Your wife's going to kill us if we go too much longer. And we haven't even started talking about Mario Odyssey.
So let me tell you about my butthole.
Oh, before we... By the time our next episode goes, likely Star Wars will be out.
Oh, yeah.
And Ferdinand will be out.
Yeah.
So go see Ferdinand. But, of course, everybody sees Star Wars. I didn't talk about this pre-show in our meeting, but I thought it would be fun for each one of us to give one prediction for the Star Wars movie.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Well, wait. Before... Think on that, Pete. But let me tell you about my butthole. But it syncs up, actually. So, last night... You guys know the YouTube channel Now We Feast, I think is what it's called? The one where the guy interviews a person and then they have to eat a series of hotter and hotter hot wings.
I do know that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Mikey's house last night and he got the hottest hot sauce and we put it on wings and ate that last night. Surprisingly not that hot. I think eating 3 jalapenos and a shot of Tabasco sauce, a fresh jalapeno, much hotter.
Interesting.
But it does hurt the butthole on the way out.
Oh, the
It is a spicy anus that I've got going on all day today. And like
all day today.
all day
How
today.
many times you...
That was my third
Back?
poop today.
Lord.
Like I had to go as soon as I got into work this morning because like I hadn't pooped all night and I couldn't poop them. And actually, that 4th time sitting on
Your
the toilet.
mic is over there.
Sorry, I'm telling you the story. 4th time sitting on the toilet, 3rd time pooping. 1st time in the morning, nothing happened. Just a little morning toots.
Now, how was the viscosity?
Of my toots? No, they're fairly sticky. You know. You don't like this, Jeff? This is what the people want. People have been waiting a month for this. So I'm just saying, if we make Star Wars bets now,
Yeah.
we should fucking do the sauce. Amp it up a bit.
Oh, this bet?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're
Although-
all going to make individual... Like, is this going to be a yes-no bet? Or do we just make bold statements, and then if any individual is right, what?
Well, I don't know. We didn't plan this ahead of time.
All right.
The other interesting thing is that I haven't watched, like, I've watched a couple trailers, but I haven't read anything about it because I don't want to
Right.
be
All right.
spoiled by it, you know?
We'll go a yes, no. Anybody that's wrong has to do the hot wing.
No. No.
Let me hear the yes. Let me pitch the yes, no.
All right, but
Each one of us gives a yes, no to does Princess Leia die?
Are we answering now, or is this like one of the things that...
I'm just saying. I'm pitching
considering
do we
this.
want this to be a bet?
It's kind of weak for a bet, I would...
Oh, all right, fine. Pick another one.
But
man.
that's
I'm just
like
pitching ideas.
But
You don't
that's
have to
like a
make fun of it.
guaranteed one of us will eat something spicy,
Right.
unless we all choose the same thing and we're all right.
But my point is that whenever we do these bets, there's always quite a bit of history behind it. It's not like a whim on a whim sort of a thing. You know what I mean? It's always like, hey, you know what? We did we played this many games and you lost this many times, or you didn't make enough money for the...
You think? I feel like our yellow text Star Wars thing was pretty impromptu.
Well, and that one was utter bullshit, and we should never try to repeat that travesty again. I think we should we should make 3 bets,
Okay.
and whoever comes out on bottom has to do it.
Okay.
So, like, the Leia could be one.
It does. All right. I can think of another one.
Okay.
By the end of the movie, is Rey on the dark side? No?
I mean, I'm just thinking about those poor people that haven't watched any of the trailers that are listening to this.
All right. And then...
Do Poe and Finn finally kiss?
all right.
No.
No? Okay. Mark Hamill, or, Luke Skywalker, his fate? No?
I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe...
We should have thought about this before.
Yeah.
Well,
We're probably gonna have another podcast before then, right?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
It comes out on the 18th, right?
No, on the... I'm technically
It's
seeing
2
it on
weeks
the
from now.
14th.
Yeah, 2 weeks, man.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the 18th for some reason. Okay. Shit. Well, we'll think about it, and we'll come back to it at the end of the show.
Okay, great.
All right.
All right, so then moving on from those things, Ferdinand and Star Wars coming out. That's good stuff. John Lasseter is in trouble, so that's animation news.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let these puppies out, okay?
Do it up.
Gotta let
Speaking
these canines breathe.
speaking of sexual harassment,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just letting my tits out.
it's all right. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
They're very pink.
Oh, and pancakey, wouldn't you say?
Beautiful, man. My favorite.
Yeah. Whew. You know, sometimes you gotta take those doggies out for a walk, let them poop, let them feel the sun.
My breasts.
My feet.
Oh, right.
I was taking my shoes off, everybody.
Okay,
All right.
so Mario Odyssey.
Woo!
Played that all of
you want
November.
to talk news, or do you want to go straight in the
Oh shoot, we do have news. I feel like we should just push Mario Odyssey to the next one.
Well, let's do that then.
All right.
Let's do that then.
All right. Let's hit some news then.
If you're listening, play some Mario Odyssey. Send us your thoughts. We'll read it on air. Like, I don't think enough people have been doing that lately. A lot of people did that early on. But if you're still listening to this episode and you play Mario Odyssey, send us your thoughts. We'll read it on... I said that already.
Yes, you did. That was weird.
It was. My own mind started hitting its skip. What the hell was that?
Hey, do you have a phone charger?
Oh, well, yes, many, but not right here.
I have one of our news topics. I have applicable information. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go upstairs.
All right.
All right, Pete.
Well-
the news story.
I'll just start with
Yeah, you had
things
some
that
pretty interesting news, I thought.
Yeah. So one of the things for the sake of game preservation, I would say, it's kind of outdated, but Nintendo announced that on January 30th, 2019, they are going to close the Wii Shop channel, which has been open since December 2006. You can, but the catch here is that you can still add points until March 26th. After that, March 26th of 2018, obviously. After that, you can't add points anymore, which means when your points are gone, that's it.
Right.
So the reason why this is interesting is because there were a lot of exclusive games to the Wii Shop channel that you can't get otherwise. So,
Hold on.
Right.
oh, here comes Mikey. I wonder if he's going to be talking about this.
Keep going, because I don't think this is what he's talking about. Wait, what are you doing?
There's no USB plug.
Oh, no, we don't. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Apparently there was a few rebooted games. One of them being Dr. Mario, that I do have. Another one being like a Castlevania reboot.
I'm actually really hoping that in the next, because it's a little bit of time off. I'm hoping they announce that not only can you transfer that stuff and keep it alive, but they really do fix the fact that the Switch has no access to the Virtual Console.
Yeah, I honestly think my prediction is that the Virtual Console is just going away. Period.
That sucks.
What they're gonna do is a subscription-based thing like PlayStation Now, or something like that.
That's one thing they have not come to like the full realization of what they promised the Switch would do. Was by this time, I feel like they were supposed to have monthly video games of retro video games. Like they said that they were going to have that, and there's nothing like that yet.
Yeah, the closest thing to it is the Mario Arcade Archive release, which is interesting in its own right because it's the first time that particular title has ever been released to the public out for a home console. So it's promising. I genuinely don't think the Virtual Console is coming back. I think it's going to be in a different form or a different, like some sort of service,
Boo! I'm back, everybody.
Mikey, did you have any Wii Shop exclusive games that you really liked as a kid or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay. I just thought you'd want to chime in on that.
The Switch is literally the only Nintendo console I've ever had where I bought any sort of digital stuff.
Okay. So moving on. This is older news, but I wanted to mention it in our last podcast, but I was like, I couldn't remember for some reason. But Owl Boy has a release date on the Switch. It'll be February 13th.
Fuck yeah!
So that's going to be cool.
Yep.
I've been waiting for that one. I know it's on Steam, but...
Yeah, I own it on Steam. I haven't played it yet because I'm an asshole.
I finally downloaded Cave Story. I need to get to that.
Woo, yeah, son.
Cave Story's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
That should be our next Game of the Month thing, I think. Since there's really nothing else.
Ah, man, I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Nope.
Quick review. I'm getting my ass fucking handed to me, and I just do not have the skills anymore to play these games.
Too bad you can't buy better weapons now.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you expect for a pay-to-win game, man? I mean...
Oh, yeah, switch to that news story, since we're on that subject.
Well...
My phone's not charged yet.
A 19-year-old kid recently wrote an open letter to EA and other game developers in the industry, talking about how he spent over $10,000 on in-game purchases over the last several years, and how it's really affected him. Saying and explaining that I am 19. or quote, I am 19 and addicted to gambling. But he's not talking about like gambling in the traditional sense. He's talking about like microtransactions in games.
Right.
And it's interesting because as I was reading this, there's a lot of and reading the comments below, there's a lot of people who are like, you know what you were doing, fuck you, like why did you can stop buying this stuff at any time.
Right.
However, there really is a parallel between this sort of game design and gambling, I think. And not only is it happening there, but I was at Dave & Buster's this past weekend with my son, and literally there is no games, or maybe there was like one game that wasn't, hey, you play to earn tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of soft gambling. It's disturbing how it's been pushed that way, and people are arguing that, like, you know, this is a market move because, you know, people might not necessarily be interested in these sort of games anymore, right. So they do this to keep
it was
incentivizing it.
I thought your Facebook post had some good points. Like one of your friends, I can't remember who posted it, but they made the point of like, is it really that different from the 80s where the games were hand designed to basically take your quarters, that it would kill you so fast and be so hard that you would eat your quarters away? Like, isn't that the old version of gambling? But I feel like the point back then had a different intent. Like, it was to get the player to enjoy the game and to keep wanting to pump the quarters in because they enjoyed it for the satisfaction of entertainment or the motivation of getting a high score. Right. Where now your point seems to be you're motivating people to play simply to gain a prize or a reward like gambling, where you're trying to gain a monetary, amount of things rather than entertainment or pride, like a high score. So that to me is the difference.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is that with the onset of loot boxes and stuff like that, there are countries now looking into this and saying, like, does this stuff need to be regulated by, like, their gambling commissions or whatever? Because if you think about it, like, all the odds on, traditional gambling, the odds are known and they are regulated. There is no regulation whatsoever. There's no, like, hey, how often do I get a super rare thing? Right. Well, you get it this often. You know what I mean? It's like the Wild West. There's nothing like that. So they could fudge those numbers as long as they want. In their favor as much as they want. So.
Well, not necessarily though, because the market speaks their mind, and EA and Battlefront are paying the price for that now. I feel like they lost a lot of customers because of all the
definitely,
backlash.
and I think that apparently a Disney executive went and talked to EA about this, and I think, and shortly thereafter they temporarily shut down microtransactions for the game. But I don't think, because like Disney has a lot to lose with the Star Wars franchise. If like EA isn't, putting their best foot forward on behalf of Disney, they could lose that license. So it's interesting. It's an interesting time for gaming.
So the reason I had to charge my phone is because I was chatting with my buddy Benjamin Gross, who's been on the show before, and he works at a mobile game studio that employs microtransactions and stuff. So I just wanted to hear what he had to say. So I'm going to read you his response to the article that you were talking about, Pete. He says, "So part of me doesn't like that he's blaming the product designers for providing him with an avenue to spend so much money. I think if he has a self-proclaimed problem with gambling, then he should seek help to learn to deal with that. But I think the other side here is the aspect of microtransactions that support a pay-to-win mentality. I personally don't think it's fair design to allow whales to be able to pay their way to victory over other gamers that can't afford the same opportunity. That's really the crux of the matter. Where's the line between pay to win and fair gameplay? Unfortunately, it's a proven business model to allow pay to win, and some of the most lucrative games support and encourage this model, and it works as shitty as it feels. And that's all I'll read from him, but like, it does feel shitty, but he has
that is a great point. I mean,
and like, it sucks, but that is when you're a small mobile game studio that, you know, there's 1,000 mobile games coming out every day, and everyone is doing microtransactions. Then it's like you have to compete, and that's how you pay the people making the game.
Yeah, do you know that there's a free-to-play game that's like Battleships? I don't know I can't remember the exact name, but it's basically like warships. It's just all the other games.
Right.
But it's ship-related, so my brother started playing it and he started streaming it. Oh, by the way, if you're interested, my brother is streaming a lot now, so you can go to Curved Earth Twitch stream, so twitch.tv/Curved Earth. He streams almost every night now.
Minecraft
and Age of Empires and a bunch of different games. But anyways, so he's playing this like battleship game. One of his listeners comes in, just dumps him $75 worth of microtransactions to make him like one of the pay-to-win people.
Wow.
Crazy. Like just a Twitch viewer is just like, check your inventory.
It's cool.
I mean, it's cool, but it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna win now.
Yeah.
It's so strange because like even with the game, what was it? The game I've been playing,
It's very memorable.
the mobile game, the puzzle game, Matchland. Sorry.
Yeah.
That got to a point where it was like, well, I think I need to start spending some money because the grinding was just got really to a point to a break point.
But I feel like Matchland is a really good example of how to do that, at least in the early on game. I have since stopped playing it, but like that game, I never felt any pressure to buy anything. And I played that game like longer than most mobile games I stick with.
Oh, most definitely. And I actually really enjoyed Matchland, and but it got to the point where I could see that I couldn't really advance much further without spending some money, and I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, and but then you have to look at it from the other side. It's like they did spend a lot of time making that game, and I've, spent probably a good 10 hours playing it. I might throw a buck their way every now and then.
And I did.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely did, but I stopped because I didn't want to do any more. I think I spent like $60 or something like that, and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I understand that point for sure, but where I really have a problem with it is when yes, you pay and then you can win. You can beat other people who can't necessarily afford it. I definitely agree with that.
You know what I really hate, like I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront, is they also have a sneaky way of making you want to. I mean, I think they took away the microtransactions, but they let you know, it's like, hey, you know that guy that just killed you? When somebody kills you, they show you their abilities. And I know they do that on purpose to let you know. It's like, hey, maybe you could have won if you had this too.
Yeah.
So they show these like little, like, what you call them, like cards that you place in your abilities that gives you like little perks or advantages, and they show you what advantages that particular player was using against you, just to motivate you to say, fuck, man, if I only had that.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's weird.
And of course I just started playing the game, so I got nothing. I got no perks. I got nothing. Like I'm at 100% disadvantage, and of course I'm at the bottom of all the scoreboards. I think it's a lot of it has to do with because I have no skill, but the other half is just stupid cards.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Like microtransactions, pretty much anytime these articles and stories come out, I just ignore them because I don't play too many multiplayer games, and I feel like that's where a lot of this stuff is most important. But like it is now bleeding into single player stuff. Like there's a whole loot box thing with the latest Middle Earth game and everything, and it's like it's getting out of hand. Something's got to happen.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it too is that like now like what is this doing to the market as a whole? what is this doing to the value of games themselves? People, if they like the real interesting point about this is that people love the fact that they could download a game that's in quotation free to play. However, when they see like a $20, $30, or even $60 price tag, they're like, fuck that, I don't want to spend that much.
Yeah.
But they end up spending that anyway. So I don't know what that is called necessarily, or if there's a term for that, but it's really fucking with the I'd say the initial front end of like, you know, people getting paid for the work of putting the game out.
Right. I really don't have as much of a problem with the free-to-play games doing the microtransactions, because I feel like that's their way to gain. It's like, hey, this is really fun, right? Like, now why don't you pay me? But like when a AAA title game does it, that feels super skeevy. It's like, because you've already paid them so much money to play their game, and then they're just trying to milk you for even more.
Well, but in reality, it's like $60 I saw somewhere for a video game right now is like the lowest in terms of economy and like rates and all that shit.
Yeah.
$60 is like the lowest video games have ever costed.
Because
and
of how much they cost? I mean, I would assume that's the why.
Well, like...
Probably because of how
like,
much they cost to produce.
Well,
because
so
because the digit.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying like these days it's like you put it on a disc, and now people are not even doing that. They're actually just buying things, distributing digitally. So it's like that costs nothing to produce.
Right, but it's still $60 is like the cheapest in terms of like back in the 90s you paid $50, which was more money than $60 is now. There's
so you're just talking about general inflation.
Inflation, right. But that doesn't account for how much more AAA games cost now.
No, I understand.
So like I feel like microtransactions are a good way for a studio to continue to make money after that initial $60 purchase, but a lot of the studios are doing it in a very poor way.
It's like McDonald's. Like, their hamburgers remain the same price after all these years of inflation. So you know what they're really doing is just like feeding you shittier and shittier meat.
Yeah. Like 2% meat now, 98%.
So now the game companies are giving you 2% of a game and asking you if you want the rest of the beef, you got to pay. Because if I agree, like if you started playing, because games were more expensive when we were a kid. Like $60 for a new game was like outrageous.
I remember for the Genesis there were like $80 titles.
Yeah.
You know.
So if you were to think about that now, like what if Mario Odyssey costs $120? You know, basically compensating for inflation, people would be outraged.
Yeah. And I remember reading something like a year or two ago that I think it was actually probably EA that they wanted to test out higher price points for their AAA games, and like immediate backlash all across the internet about it, so they never did it. But it's like, maybe if they did do it, maybe if Star Wars Battlefront 2 cost $80, like, and that was the plan back then, this microtransaction thing might not have happened the way it did.
That is true. Because I mean, something's got to cover the cost, because it's nice that these games are getting, you know, more and more realistic, more and more immersive, but there is that is any sort of polish on a game is just time, and time is money, and
Yep.
You know, the amount of money per day sunk into a company making a AAA title is absolutely ridiculous.
I will say, at least the game works.
I mean, I've seen videos of it being atrocious.
Oh, really?
Just in terms of like server load and everything.
I mean, I suppose like maybe taking a while to get in the game, and there's definitely some mechanics they have issues, but like I'm talking about like Halo, the Master Chief Collection was absolutely broken. At least it's not that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we done talking about this? Can I move on with the news?
We're done.
All right, so Nintendo announced that there will be for the first time in like 30 years, there's going to be a Nintendo-themed cereal.
Actually, hold on. Can I pause you?
Yeah.
We do have a commercial.
We do.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, right? The that Star Wars is coming back. The movie. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember.
So with that, we have a new sponsor, our old sponsor back. So let me read our sponsorship because we need to get paid. At participating Subways, you can help decide if Rey is becoming a Sith or truly is the Last Jedi. Use the Force for a healthy way to get a 6-inch load in your mouth or step up to a 12-inch if the dark side hunger is calling you. Play Star Wars Battlefront 2 and receive points towards real Subway food prizes like a 64-ounce Pepsi or a free Wookiee Ookie cookie for you or your favorite frat buddy. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is now available. Subway, eat fresh. Wookiee cookie available for a limited time.
Well, thank you, Subway.
Yeah.
You came back.
All right, Pete.
So, anyway, again, for the first time, this is actually pretty cool. For the first time in 30 years, now Jeff, do you remember the Nintendo cereal?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could get Link cereal too.
Yeah, it was like 2 sleeves in one box. There was
Yeah.
a Mario side and a Zelda side.
Yeah, loved it.
I remember. It was fantastic. So they're doing a Super Mario Odyssey version of the cereal that is actually looks a lot like Lucky Charms, and the really cool thing about it is that each box will be able to be scanned as an amiibo for the for Super Mario.
That's awesome.
And
Talk about pay to win, Nintendo. Come on.
I will say they do it. That is their own kind of pay to win. Like there are little like amiibo sites all over Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, damn it, what am I missing from this game?
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
I'm excited to eat this cereal, though. I'm going to fucking buy it if I can find it. It's Nintendo, so there'll probably be a shortage.
Yeah, likewise. I think I'll buy it. I would like to buy it as well. Although I'm gonna be that weirdo. I'm not opening it.
Just get 2 boxes.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. You gotta try it for.
Oh man, I still remember the taste of Batman cereal. I bought that stuff. It was very like saying it had little marshmallows and stuff. I liked the taste of it because all the bat symbols were like chocolate. They were good.
Do you remember the C-3PO cereal from Star Wars?
I remember seeing it. I never had it. No, I was too young.
They tasted like shit.
Oh really?
And they were like a bunch of number 8s, and they just threw Star Wars on it.
Oh, gross.
Number 8s.
They tasted like vitamins. It was gross. All right, so the pixelated indie title Crawl is coming to the Switch on December 19th.
Dude, I'm pretty stoked for this. This game has been on my list for forever,
Yep.
but I never bought it. But now it's on Switch. It's fucking perfect.
What's it called again?
Crawl. So basically, it's like, you know how Towerfall is like 4-player couch co-op? Mm-hmm. This is like a top-down
I don't know how many players it is.
dungeon crawler. I think it's 4. So like, the one person plays as like the main hero who's trying to get through the dungeon.
Yeah.
And the other 3 people play as the monsters in that dungeon.
Oh, I saw that.
Trying to kill them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then whoever kills them, he becomes the new hero,
Yep.
and you go until you get to the end.
That's fun.
It looks super fun.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
I'm stoked for this.
Was there a date?
December 19th.
Oh shit, that's like next week.
That's right after Ferdinand.
Except in like 2-3 weeks, but
So I don't know if anybody gives a shit about this. I personally don't, but Nintendo released another iOS and Android game called Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Oh, are you kidding? That's like blowing up.
yeah.
No, it's huge. I don't give a shit about it, but
I
it's
downloaded
huge.
it, started playing it, and it was way too similar to Stardew Valley, so I was like, I'm already into Stardew. I'll just stick with this.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of people on Facebook. I think even Trevor Young was like, "Hey, here's my friend. Whatever, like, friend me on this and play with me."
Yep.
Like, there was a handful of people on my Facebook feed that were sending that out.
Well, I just saw something that it takes like 10 hours to get a pizza that you order in the game. It's like, all right, I don't have time for this mobile time limit nonsense.
Is there ways to manipulate your calendar to make sure it comes faster?
I have no idea.
That's always
Probably.
my first thing. Whenever there's a
Probably not.
game a phone game thing, you know me, I always look for the quickest way to cheat.
Yeah, you're
Because a lot of those things look at your iOS device calendar and time. And if you turn off auto sync on your calendar or time, you can then change your phone, like it's 9 o'clock in the morning, switch it, then you'll do like say 12 o'clock at night, and it'll tell the game that time has passed, and you basically get things faster.
You're just a dirty, rotten scoundrel, you know that?
I did that on Candy Crush all the time because it had the like once you used all your lives, you would have to wait 24 hours to get more lives back. I'd be like, nope, it's tomorrow.
That's a point of pride for me. In Fez, there's a couple time trophies that you have to get at a certain hour of the day that I would wait. I didn't adjust shit.
Oh no, Swords and Sorcery. There's some stuff that's timed with the moon.
That is understandable.
I changed that.
I love Sword and Sorcery. Holy shit.
That's good.
Anyway.
Yeah, all right. Nah, fuck it. We'll just not get into that. Go.
This is nice. This is a nice thing that you don't hear very often. The publisher of Axiom Verge, the Axiom Verge being the Metroid-style game for the PS4 and now for the Switch, which just came out.
Yep.
Which is amazing. The game's
developed
amazing.
by one guy.
Yeah.
Developed by one guy. His son is in a pretty serious health situation, and the publisher of the game is donating 75% of profits from the game for his health care, which makes me want to go buy it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
and it was cool because that article said that the developer didn't even want to announce that because they didn't want it to seem like a ploy that they were trying to get people to buy the game out of guilt, which is what we're doing right now, I guess. But that was just something that they did, and then the developer Tom Happ was just like thankful for it, so he was the one that said anything about it.
I'll say there are stuff that a lot of companies do that are really awesome that don't go cover. Like I know a handful of stuff that Blue Sky has done that's like, wow, man, they did that, and they will not allow it to be announced for the same reason that they don't want it to become like a marketing thing, because people will then shit on it.
Well, I know. I'm curious. Do it off air. Off air. We'll take this conversation off air.
Okay.
Don't get in trouble, Jeff.
No. I won't. I don't know. I kind of feel like mentioning it because they haven't mentioned it before.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the name of my blog? Do you remember that?
No.
Shoot, neither do I.
Jeff Gabor, I think I'm a god.com.
Oh, look, jeffgabor.wordpress.
Clever.
It's completely...
Jeff
Hey, look,
Gabor drinks his own pee.
my last post was pumping your retro game break thing that yeah, 2014. I was pumping your thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I talked about it on here.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Jedi Max. That was one of the last things. Like, I don't think I mentioned Blue Sky's relation to this guy. But, there's this poor kid. He... I think he was suffering from brain cancer.
It says gray matters, so I'm going to say you're right.
Okay. But one of the last things he wished, and I'm sorry if I mess any of this up, but it's kind of like a Make-A-Wish type situation where he was just like, I just want to be able to see the movie Epic from Blue Sky. And completely under the radar, like not... marketed, obviously not marketed at all, but not told at all. Blue Sky flew in, like the movie was not really done, it certainly wasn't out in theaters. They got a version to him so he could watch it in his hospital room.
I do sort of remember hearing about this.
It was crazy. Super
That's
heartwarming.
Awesome. Yeah.
It was incredibly sad off. I think a week or two later he ended up passing away. But he was able to see the movie before he left, and the crazy, I still have it up behind my desk because I did the little post on my thing just saying whatever I said something about Jedi Max on my blog. Somehow his family saw that I had posted that. His younger sibling sent me a card, like just basically saying, thank you, and like drew me a little, like it was like a brown square, and said, and the mom wrote, "These are supposed to be chocolates for you." It's like, it was so heartwarming. It's like, oh man, it's so awesome. And those kind of stories, like, companies don't get to tell. And it's like, man, sometimes it's cool to work for like companies like Blue Sky or this publisher that that's helping out. Tom's Hap, right?
Tom Hap, yeah.
Tom Hap. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Thomas, whatever. I got it.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta be impressed. I got the name.
You
That's
did
good.
it. Good job, man.
All right.
Good job, Jedi Max. What's this hyperlink? Does Jedi
May
Max
the
have a
Force be with
page?
you to.
Oh,
Oh, it was a link to his Facebook page. It's no longer active.
that's sad.
That is sad.
So, I guess my last piece of news
Yep.
is the December PS Plus lineup has been not released yet, but has been announced.
Speaking of sad news.
Yeah, Darksiders 2 and Kung Fu Panda are your offerings for PlayStation 4. PS3 Siberian
Nobody's playing
Collection.
PlayStation.
and-
Who's playing PlayStation 3?
I have
mean-
no idea.
I still use my PlayStation 3 just because it's in the bedroom and that's
No,
what we
you
watch
don't.
Hulu with.
Okay, you don't play it though.
No, because it stopped reading Blu-rays.
Oh snap!
Anyway, continue, Pete.
Well, nobody gives a shit about PS3 or PlayStation Vita anymore, so...
No, they really don't. I am vaguely interested in Darksiders 2. I liked the first one back in the day. If you want like a God of War / Zelda ripoff, there you go.
Yeah, I heard the first one's better than the second.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'll still add it to my library, and then it'll just be one of those games that I never play.
Yep. I got way too many of those.
Dude, I can't stop. Like, fuck microtransactions. Just video games are fucking destroying me. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun time of year for me because my son is like at the very perfect age for like wanting video games for Christmas. And this year he wants the PlayStation VR.
Oh, yeah,
So,
dude.
So yeah, he's gonna be getting that for sure.
Spoilers,
And,
I hope he doesn't listen to this beautiful show.
No, he doesn't.
He's
Actually,
not allowed to.
he has listened to a couple episodes in the past,
Oh.
but I just tell him that there is swearing, that they're not nice words and you shouldn't say them. And
Yeah.
but he really likes it. He really likes the show. But anyway, what I was saying is like with all like the Black Friday deals, the Cyber Monday deals, it's like this is a really fun time of the year for like any gamer really because you can get some really good prices on stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of sad going back to the $60 games being cheap generally. Like, I saw Wolfenstein 2. That came out like a month ago. That was more than 50% off on Black Friday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, dang, how are they ever going to make money? But that game is also supposed to be fucking amazing, too.
It makes me wonder if the publishers are actually like more interested in getting a community going than actually, that can support the game more long term. I don't know. It's just a stupid theory I have.
Yeah.
Could be the reason why they. Because theoretically they lower the price, the more people will buy it, or give it a shot. You know what I mean? And
Well, yeah.
the more people would be able to buy the DLC, or I don't know.
I haven't really thought about it, but it's interesting that I feel like games are starting to mirror movies in that you either have to shoot for being an all-time blockbuster, like you're an Avengers movie, or you have to be a really, really small independent movie. But anything, so it's like you either have a budget of $2 million or you have a budget of $200 million. Anything in like $50 million, $35 million, hell no.
Yeah, one of
No
my
way.
podcasts I listen to says like the mid-tier publishers are just not a thing anymore. They're saying exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like Darksiders 2, that's a mid-tier game that didn't do very well, and I think that studio shut down because of it.
Right. It's not a good time to be a mid tier. Like you're either AAA or you better be really indie.
Yeah.
And really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary.
Speaking of indie, I found a deal yesterday on a game called Super Bloody Hockey, and it's a Steam game. I hope it comes out for the consoles because it looks perfect for the Switch, but it looks a hell of a lot like the Nintendo version of ice hockey. And it's got even down to like the character sizes and stuff like that, but it is like insanely bloody. It's like pixelated as all hell, but it's all just blood flying everywhere whenever you like hit somebody with a puck or
were you
get a fighter.
Were you a fan of Mutant League hockey and football?
I never played them, but I heard they were very good.
Oh, they were so good. It's just basically they bastardized the two sports and made it so where you're either like these like mutant characters or robots, and you basically just it throws out the rules and you can basically batter each other and it's bloody and gory and you can fall down holes and you can punch people and kill people and blow people up with mines on the football field or whatever. It was a good idea and it was executed well too.
They actually are bringing back Mutant League football. It was a Kickstarter, I want to say a year and a half ago. So you might see it on consoles. I don't know.
That's cool.
It looks cool too, like all the updates and stuff I get for it. It's pretty neat.
Wow. Pete, did you make it all the way through the news?
Yeah, that was all the news.
There it is. We did it, boys.
Oh, my other piece of news, which Jeff, you'll probably be surprised by this. I've put aside my Retron 5.
No.
Yeah.
¿Por qué, señor?
Not because I'm not going to use it anymore, but I actually found a system that is compatible 100% across the board, like with no problems, no issues. Like this past retro gaming marathon we did, there was a problem with compatibility. Like a lot of games wouldn't work right, and I updated the stuff. And then the worst part, the biggest offender for me was that once I updated to the latest version on the Retron 5, 2-player wouldn't work anymore. The second player port. So I said, fuck it, and I got an FGPA console that actually it runs closest to the actual 6502 processor that the NES had. Let me see if I can get it on the camera here.
I don't even know what you're saying. I literally have no information of
This
FGB
is
what?
This is actually it's I don't know if I can be saying this correctly, but it's a process. It's basically computer software that emulates the hardware of the 6502 processor in the original NES. So what it does is it's fully compatible with every game, every import, every homebrew, and it's pretty nice. It has here's your NES port and here's your Famicom port, and it's very simple to use, and it has a HDMI out. But yeah, I think for me,
you gotta send me a link to that. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
It's made by RetroUSB.com. They're known for making homebrew carts and actually they make reproduction cart of the new Nintendo World Championship cart. It's like the only place you can get it, but it runs really nice, and there's no like latency whatsoever. It's really fast, and I really like it. So I recommend it. There's a Cadillac version you can get that's actually called the Analog NT You know what I'm talking
It's
about.
the gold one, isn't
That's
it?
the sexy one that I really like the design for.
Right.
Oh.
The Analog NT is the same people that make that Super Nintendo one that you guys were passing around.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
same type of system as this. It's not emulation based.
It's way too expensive.
So you can't. Yeah, that's like $500. This one is $185. But it has the same functionality.
Well, how about that?
How about
Sounds
that?
like someone's gonna get a letter, Mr. Santa Claus.
Get the Super Nintendo one too, because that one's cheaper
Yeah,
and
Santa
it looks
Claus
hot
doesn't
as
have-
fuck.
He doesn't have problems with money.
No, Santa Claus just
He
has
makes them his own.
slaves.
Yeah. All right, is there anything else we want to say before we wrap up? How about our Star Wars bets? Are we doing it or not?
Oh, I didn't think about it at all.
Yeah, I forgot to.
I bet there's yellow text in it.
All right.
Piece of shit.
All right, let's try to have an episode that Tuesday before so we can really nail down this bet. How about that?
That sounds like a
Do
good
you
idea.
realize how crazy that week is going to be?
Yeah, it would be
Wednesday night is the Ferdinand rap party.
Right, so it would be Tuesday night podcast, Wednesday night for an in-rap party, Thursday night.
Star
So it's
Wars.
not really smart.
But we can do it.
Yeah, we can do
I mean, we don't have to do it Tuesday night. We could get together like a Sunday night or something too, right?
it. Yeah, and just put out like a quick podcast through Skype.
Yeah.
Hey, here's our bet. Yo.
Or how
check it
about
out.
this? I got an idea.
Okay,
Hear me out on this, gentlemen.
I'll hear you.
You guys
Okay.
invite me to the rap party, and I'll go up
Shit.
there and I'll record live with you guys the night before.
That's a good call.
It's a good call.
I think the RSVPs are closed.
I can't.
Ah, god damn it!
That's the problem.
It was worth a try.
2 months ago. Yeah.
Damn it, Pete. That was a good idea too, though. We've still never all podcasted together in one room.
That is true. That is true.
What episode number is this? I hope this wasn't 50.
This is 47.
Okay, all right.
Oh man, our year-end review could be number 50. That's pretty good.
Dude, yeah. FYI, be putting together your top 6 games, top 6 movies of the year.
Yeah. I'll name
And I
all
think
6
we should
movies
do
I
that
saw.
one. I think we should do that one on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Then people can give their top 6s as well.
Yeah. And hey, Latino lawyer, let us know
Diego.
if you're still alive.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been sort of off the map. It's cool,
Yeah.
Diego. It's actually been sort of like disheartening because, he would tweet at us about our podcast. Now I see him tweeting at other podcasts.
I know.
And I'm like, oh, man.
We lost him. We lost him.
No, he's listening. He just won't listen as adamantly as he once did.
And we
Yeah.
put this at the fucking hour and a half mark, so that's not good.
I mean, he sticks through it, man.
Dude, your wife is probably upstairs just waiting on your ass.
I got it. That's fine.
All
Let's
right.
go. Let's end it then.
All right. You good, Pete?
I'm good, gentlemen.
All right, well, this has been Just a Few More Minutes podcast. We're 3 veterans of the animation video game industry. We did talk about animation, and we talked about video games.
And it felt
And
pretty
we-
good.
Yeah, and we barely glossed over the whole incredible news of John Lasseter being a petter ass.
A petter ass?
I don't know.
I mean, it works.
I'm never
Petter
working
ass.
there, so I can say what I want. So yeah, why don't you hit the good music? Hold on, let me turn this music off so it doesn't clash. Like I probably left that on way too long.
No, it was good.
It's fine. All right. So Pete, why don't you hit the good music now?
All right, gentlemen. Good night.
All right, peace.
Bye.